Alrighty. Guessing it's going. Because I try and clean the room. Alright. Hi everyone. Thought I took that out, but okay. I guess I'll do updates on everything because it's the end of my first week. Yay! Or second week because I moved in 2 weeks ago. So this first, I just completed my first week of my junior year in college. So I have new updates for you guys. First one is I have a new addition to my family. She's actually really adorable, and I'm sure a lot of people know about reborns, but if you don't, look them up. They're a really interesting topic. Basically, and sorry if I start holding her wrong, but my wrist, well, it's feeling okay now because I haven't been twirling a flat. But so I guess I can show you guys how she looks. So here's the new edition. She is a couple of days old, actually a couple of weeks old. She was born August 1st. So, and I got her August 8th. So like I said, I'm sorry how I'm holding her, but because of my wrist, I can't really hold her as well as I usually do. Here she is. She actually, you can't really, well, you can kind of tell, but if you look at our skin difference, like probably we look about the same, but close up, she's a little bit darker than I am. But her name is Elena, which means like sunshine or something with the sun. And the reason why I called her that was because I wanted a daughter. I still want kids, but I wanted a daughter that meant like sunlight or the sun. And so I looked on the internet and I found like different names like Elena, I think Eleanor was one. There were a couple of really cute names, but this one actually stuck out to me the most because I liked it. And so I chose that name, and I'm I'm gonna say I'm at that age that like my hormones are kind of all over the place, and I've like been wanting a baby, I've been wanting a child. I just wanted something to hold and care for. And since I'm at school, I don't have my dog with me, so and he doesn't really let me hold him. So yeah, so I started like looking at different things, and I remembered a high school project that I did, where he basically gets sent home with the baby for like the weekend or a couple of days or whatever, and you basically have to tend to that child's need whenever it cries. And I remembered that, and so I looked into that, and they didn't have any that sold individually. You had to buy them as like a group, like a big group, and that was about a couple $1,000s, and I didn't have the money to spend on that, and I don't really have a use for having that many of them. So I ended up looking at other stuff, and I remember I ran across something called a reborn doll, and I'm like, oh, let me see what that's all about. And so I like looked into it, and I started going on YouTube and started seeing like these people having uh, little reborn dolls from like ages from infants. People made preemies, premature babies, like all that stuff, and they looked real. And so I had showed my mom, and I showed my aunt, and they were like, oh, okay, whatever. And it wasn't really like a clicking connection for any of us anyway. I wasn't really looking for that. And then, I mean, I kind of was, but I'm like, do I want to spend that money for it? It's like $1,000. I don't have that money for it. And so I had got a letter, not like a letter, but like a little bulletin thing from Ashton Drake. And they were like coming out with one of their newest ones, which basically like grabbed your finger if you pushed a button. And so I had showed my mom and my aunt that, and we had like seen a lot of the Ashton Drake stuff, and we're like, oh, that's really cute. And we started looking at it, and it was about like $200, I think. And we're like, okay, that's a good price. And I started doing a little bit of research with like Ashton Drake and like that actual doll, and I didn't really find that much about the actual doll, but what I did find, it was like, I don't know if I want to spend my money on that. But I mean, it's a good doll. I'm sure it is. You just gotta know what you're doing. But I didn't want to risk it and spend like $200, $300 on a doll. That, yeah. So, I was looking on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I really wish I can get one and all that stuff. They look so adorable. And I remember hearing on YouTube, one of the reborn people had said like you can get them on eBay. And I thought about it, I'm like, huh, maybe I can try and see if I can find one. And um, so I looked and I looked, and they were about 200, 300 to about 7,000. So they were pretty expensive. And like I said, I didn't have that much money. So I kept looking and I kept looking, and then I finally found one. Because a lot of the cheap ones were like, they weren't made. It was like the kits, and I don't know anything about doing the kits at all. So I kept looking, and I found one that was about 150, and it was really cute and everything. And I'm like, okay, that one looks really cute. Or no, it was 90. That's what it was. And I'm like, okay, so I bid it on it. About 3 minutes before it ended, I got outbidded for like 150. I'm like, I don't like you, whoever outbidded me. So, so I told my mom that, and it was something that like like me, my mom, and my aunt, we all liked that one. And so that one I couldn't get because it exceeded what I wanted to pay. And so I kept looking, I kept looking, I kept looking, and I was like finding different ones, like different prices, no more than 150. And I would send them to my mom and be like, okay, what about this one, or what about this one? I like this one. This one comes with a lot of accessories and all that stuff. And I kept like sending her things that I would find, and um, she would either say like, oh, that one's okay, or yeah, I like that one, but I wish it was like a different color other than Caucasian. And so I'm like, okay. And that was really the majority of it. She didn't want Caucasian. She wanted like a colored baby. And so I'm like, okay, fine. So I typed in eBay like biracial or something like that. I don't remember. So I typed that in, and I found a couple of them. They weren't really the best. They didn't really catch my eye at all. And And so I kept looking, I kept looking, I kept looking. And then finally, I gave up for that day. And then, like, later that night, I was like, okay, let me look again. Maybe there's something new. I had, like, something told me to look one more time. And so I looked again, and I found this little one. And she was 85, and she was $85, and then shipping was like 15, so it would have been 100, period. And so I bid it on her, like, and it was about to be done in like an no, not even an hour. It was like 16 minutes. No one else had bid it on her, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm bidding. I don't care. I am bidding. I will get one. And so I bid it. And well, actually, I showed my mom, and she's like, okay, now that's better. She's beautiful. She was the color that my mom wanted, and the size that I wanted. I didn't want like a toddler. I wanted a nice sized baby. And so, sorry, it's hard to hold her. Okay, there we go. And so, when I had did it, I'm like, okay, mama, keep an eye on that timer and make sure no one else outbids us. And so we kept looking, we kept looking, we kept looking, we kept looking, and no one outbidded us. No one like bid it with us, and we're like, thank you. And so, um, and so we won her, and I started talking like back and forth with the person who had who was selling it, and she was really nice, and she kept in contact with me. I actually have another, I don't know if you guys can see it, but another bracelet because she had spelled her name wrong, and so she said she was going to send another one, and now I'm waiting in the mail for that, but that's not going to be here until probably next week. So yeah, so I have had her for about 2 weeks now. Yeah, she's a sleeping baby. She has a magnetic pacifier. And actually, what you see her in right now, you can't really tell because of the sun. You can't really tell, but it's like a pink outfit and her pink hair bowl. I actually bought these. Yeah. Remember right wrist? Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I actually bought this dress and this piece actually separate. I got this one. This dress came with another dress and a bloomer in here. It was a pink dress, but what originally came with her was the cute doggy that she loves a lot. I got a little crochet blanket, which she also loves. Her crochet dress and a little white onesie. So, so yeah, she came with a couple of things, and then she also had her pacifier, and then she has a bottle right here, and it has stuff in it. It has the little formula stuff. So yeah, yeah. So here's Elena, who is asleep, and I'm probably gonna put her in her little. I don't. Okay. I'm starting to get stuff together for her, slowly but surely. I have a thrift store near me, which is good, thank God. But yeah, so always try eBay. You never know. Sometimes you may hit badly, but a lot of times, like I did, you'll hit with a really good find. And I love her to death. Alright, I'm gonna pause this because it's about to go on 15 minutes, and that's as long as I can go. So I'll come back with another video. Alright?